If I put my mute on, it's because I have the dog in the room. And if she starts barking, I'll.
And here we are. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the PeaPod. We have a formal welcome for you, so let me get that going.
Welcome to the PeaPod. And just like the peas in a PeaPod, each human is here to have experiences that will contribute to the growth of all. Here at the PeaPod, we will examine some of these experiences and glean the lessons learned, the truth uncovered, and come to a deeper understanding through our sharing. So grab your popcorn, get comfortable, maybe even a paper and pen, and get ready for an amazing time with your hostess, Teri Angel, a woman on a mission to bring change, especially in the arena of peace, into our world. And here she is.
Thank you, Jim Mershon, for that beautiful introduction. So welcome, everybody, to the PeaPod. In a meditation one day, the angels showed me the image of a PeaPod, and inside of it was all of us, no one left on the outside. And we are all one, they explained, and we are all fed by the same source, the Creator. So this is a gathering of the peas in a safe container, the PeaPod. It's an incubator for love, allowing each unique person to speak, expressing with love and sharing hope in our world. Today, the topic is gratitude, one of my favorite topics. And one of my favorite quotes about gratitude is by Myra Goodrich. And Myra says, "It's not happiness that brings us gratitude. It's gratitude that brings us happiness." And President John Kennedy said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." I'm going to take that to heart. And our beautiful guests are here today to have a discussion about gratitude. I want to welcome to the PeaPod MarBeth Dunn. You've been here before. She's a repeater, and I know she's going to be here many more times. Welcome, MarBeth.
Oh, it's so great to be here with you, Teri, as always.
Thank you. And we have Michele Landers. Hi, Michele.
Hi, Teri, and hi, MarBeth, and thank you for inviting me on. This is wonderful, and I love the topic. Who doesn't love the topic of gratitude?
Who doesn't? I certainly do. I've been immersed in gratitude for so many years now. It's like a second nature to just wake up and say, "Thank you, God, for another day." That's how I start every day. And we were supposed to have another panelist, Staci Lord, but she had some technical problems. So she's in the audience. Staci, we'll get it together and you will be on with us again on this side of the camera, I promise.
Yeah.
So everybody coming in, like Jim said, get your popcorn, get a paper and pen if you want. Maybe you want to jot down some of the words that are being said. And let's get right to gratitude. There are people, Michele, to address that. There are people that say, they can't find anything to be grateful for. So if you have someone like that in your life, how do you all deal with that? How do you encourage them to find gratitude?
Now, it's interesting that you ask that because I have found in my past that it was not easy for me I had to actively look for things to be grateful for and appreciative of. And it's not something that comes naturally to people, especially, if you've been raised in a particular type of household where it wasn't something that was done. Maybe you said, blessings with a meal or something like that, but it could be rote, or maybe you just didn't tap into it. And so you really need to develop the attitude of gratitude. And that takes some, can take a little work. It's not, I mean, it's definitely worth it. But I know from my experience that I was not living a life of gratitude. I did not understand it. I didn't realize the significance or the power of it. And I know that I'm not alone. But just before our broadcast tonight, I was outside talking to God and saying, thank you. So, it's something that I have and am consciously cultivating because it is so important.
Well, yeah. And MarBeth, thank you for that. And you sparked a couple of things for me because, I don't remember being raised with, I don't remember being raised with this attitude of gratitude. I'm not saying that my parents were always negative or anything like that, but I took a lot of things for granted for so long. And one of the things, well, to address what you had said, Teri, what do you do if somebody is, not grateful or negative or, something that you said, you asked that question. And, because I'm a coach, sometimes naturally I get people who have a lot of complaining to do. And I understand that. I always honor that. And I will often ask them, well, tell me what you are grateful for in your life. Or share with me an experience that you had that you were really grateful for, just to start getting the conversation going in a different direction. And I love what Louis Schwarzenberg, who is, I'm not sure if he was a director or he just wrote a lot about gratitude. And a couple of lines that he said really got me. And I think it sums up gratitude. And the question he posed was, or the comments that he made were, this is gratitude. If your friend is sick, you're grateful that they got better. If your friend died, you're grateful that you knew him or her. I think that's beautiful, right? Yeah. So he demonstrates gratitude for all things all the time.
Yeah.
How beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Somebody that really inspired me, his name was Bob Miller, no relation. And he would always, when we talked, he would always introduce me if I was on his show, Teri Miller, no relation. But we were related in spirit. And he, to me, was the gratitude guru. Bob left his body about, I think, 5 years ago. And every morning he would tag somebody online and say, I'm grateful for you. So when he did pass unexpectedly and quickly, I just felt like there was a hole, something that was missing because we didn't have that motivation every day to think about gratitude. So I did write a book called Gratitude Base. It's a gratitude journal. And the tradition is for every day to choose somebody that you're grateful for and let them know. That's the other part of it.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
To lift somebody's vibration. And there doesn't have to even be a reason. That's the beautiful part. Just send them a little message and say, I'm grateful for you. And I've been doing this now for, I think, 4 years. And this year I started it back up again. Every day I send out a message of gratitude. And I have people that say, well, why? Why are you grateful for me? So I just want to bring that point forward.
Wow.
You have a reason to be grateful for somebody. You're here. I'm here. That's enough reason, right?
Right. Your presence, just your presence alone, right?
Yeah.
I think that is really, really beautiful. And as the recipient of someone, when they're grateful for you and they share that with you, it just opens up your heart. It swells. and it blesses both of you. That's the thing about gratitude, right?
Mhm.
It just blesses both of you. And I've had people, also say, well, how can I be grateful when all of this horrible stuff is, they feel bad about being grateful if all these horrible things are happening in the world. And you know what? There are always going to be things going on in the world that we don't like, but that doesn't mean that you can't be grateful for the things that are happening that are positive in your life or in the world. There certainly are positive things happening. Yes, I acknowledge that there are challenges that we're seeing and facing, but there's also so much good in the world and so many good people. So I think it's just reframing and looking at your life through a different lens, maybe putting those rose-colored glasses on. What's wrong with that, right?
Nothing. Yeah, that's so true. And I think also that the more gratitude that we share, it's really divine. Gratitude is one of the higher vibrational emotions that we can experience. It's up there with love and peace and joy. And it really is a divine sentiment. And when we express gratitude in the world, we are lifting the vibration of everybody around us. And also, I believe that it affects people all over the world.
Absolutely.
It really does, because that frequency goes out into the big soup. I call it the soup of all the frequency that's on the planet.
Right.
We're adding our ingredient in there. And I always say to people, are you bringing that frequency up? Are you flavoring that soup in a really good way? Or are you adding something in that doesn't taste so good and bringing the frequency down? So you're right, MarBeth, it affects everybody on the planet when we say, I'm grateful for you. And got that ripple effect,
Absolutely.
What's going to happen when you smile at somebody or just give them a warm word or say those words, I'm grateful for you.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of prompts for getting you to journal or write about gratitude. And one of them would be, think about a decision that you made that turned out really positively. And imagine what your life would have been like had you not made that decision. So, focus on all the good things and, be grateful for the things that have happened in your life and be grateful for the things that haven't happened that you did, be grateful for the things that happened that you wanted, but also be grateful for the things that didn't happen that you didn't want.
Right.
As well.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Teri.
That brings up a really good point, too, of being grateful for things that haven't happened yet. Ladies, isn't that the main lesson in manifesting?
Yeah, it is. It is. And also, I think it's really good for us to be an example, which I try to do. I mean, am I always 100% up and positive? No, of course not. But I really try to be, I try to keep that level of optimism or enthusiasm pretty high. And it just takes practice, it can be easy to get through, we're human, right? And you know what I always say, I know people get tired of hearing it, but even Jesus had bad days. So, but
we don't hear about them.
No, right. Well, one of them we heard about that.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But I think it's good to be an example, to sprinkle your conversations. It doesn't have to be forced at all, because once you get into the habit of being grateful and happy about your life and about things, it gets easier to share that, with other people. Like, wow, it's really beautiful day out. It's freezing maybe for Teri, but I don't know. Is the sun out where you are, Teri?
No,
no.
it's still
Okay.
overcast because we're getting a snowstorm in.
Yeah.
Predicting
Okay.
maybe up to 10 inches of snow tonight here where I'm at.
But it's so
I-
beautiful when it falls.
It is beautiful.
Yes, I'm grateful for the beauty of it. I really am.
Absolutely.
But I'm hoping that it'll melt fast this time.
I hope so.
Yeah.
The other thing about gratitude is that it's really good for your health.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yes. You want to expand upon that? Because that is so true.
Well, of course, when you you have that attitude of gratitude, you feel good and you're focusing on positive things. The more we focus on the positive, the more the positive expands. And it also affects the vibration of our physical body. And so when we are in that state of gratitude, everything just works out. It just works out positively. And
Yeah.
it helps. I believe that it's really, from what I've read, that it's really good for your blood pressure. It keeps you calm and peaceful and grounded. And it just is so positive in so many ways. Do you want to expand on that too, Michele?
Yeah, I really do, because what you just said is so true. I think it's been proven that it does lower blood pressure. It improves heart health. Oh, I'm so sorry. 1 second.
We're having the technical stuff tonight.
Uh-oh, you're muted, Michele.
I know. Okay, I'm back. So what I was saying about, yeah, the physically, it definitely helps your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, without a doubt. And okay, so I think, if you want to have more gratitude, I think it's a good idea. Just list everything that's happening in your life right now and all the people that you have a connection to. Well, this turns into be like an assignment, I guess, if anybody wants to take it. And on one side of the paper, list all the people you're connected to. And then on the other side, list one thing that you're grateful for as a result of the experience with that person. And it's kind of like what you're doing every day, Teri, and you also have to list, if there's somebody in your life that's now list all the people you have connection to. That's probably a long list for some people.
That can go on.
Yeah. But you may come across one person and say, and it's usually a family member, unfortunately, that you have a challenge with, right? Because our families are our best teachers. And I don't mean that jokingly at all. I'm really quite serious about that. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, when you get to that person, you might go, take a deep breath, because those are the tough ones, are the most enlightening ones, right? And just keep it up until you can flip the switch on that relationship with that person and find something that you're grateful for. And it might be, I'll use myself as an example. I had a really challenging time with my mother, growing up, and, mothers and daughters. And it was really, really challenging on a lot of levels. However, had that experience not happened, I think it would have changed my trajectory in life, because I wanted to get away, from my mom. And it really changed how my life turned out. And I felt like I had to really stand on my own 2 feet and discover so it was a blessing, because had things were pretty easy for me in a lot of ways, but that emotional challenge that I came up against with her I don't think I'd be where I am today if it wasn't for that, because it pushed me, right? That's what happens with challenges in our life. It pushes us. Okay, you're at a crossroads. You're going to take the high road, you're going to take the low road. So again, that's turning a negative experience, flipping the switch on it. So that was my experience.
And also, I had an experience also with gratitude. I was early on in my relationship with Harrison. I was ready to throw in the towel. I could not see anything positive in him. All I saw were all of these faults. And I have a good friend who is a relationship coach, and she said, "Don't throw in the towel. Don't do it." She said, you cannot find fault with him. You cannot criticize him until you have found 10 things that you're grateful for.
Wow.
And so it totally flipped the relationship. And, and at first it was hard because I had this other focus. We have this reticular activating system. So when we've got a mindset, that's what we're going to see. And so all I saw were these faults. And then, I'm trying to think of something positive. I got to think of 10 things before I can even come up with something negative and criticize. And so the first thing was like, well, he does wash the dishes. I really do appreciate that. But I did start to see all of his beautiful qualities, and it totally flipped our relationship. And, we've never looked back. But that is the power of gratitude. That is the power of seeing the positive. That is the power of, wow, I almost threw in the dish towel or threw the towel in, on this amazing relationship, which is so good. He's such a good person. And, I just had those filters on where I could only see the negative, but the thankfulness, the gratitude totally flipped the switch.
Wow, that is really beautiful. Yeah, I think no matter how bad things look, we're always being blessed in some way. So I guess to your point, MarBeth, always ask the question, what is the blessing here? Can I find the blessings? And then be grateful for the awareness that comes to you as a result of that. So what a great story.
Love that story, and I'm so happy that you stayed.
Too.
I love the two of you together. You're dynamite.
Yeah.
But it really brings the point home that what you focus on expands, right? So if you're focused on all those negative qualities and you're focused on, oh, this isn't going very well, and all you're seeing is that rabbit hole. Okay, let me just keep digging here, right? And see what else is in there.
And the more you look, the more you're going to find.
Oh gosh, yes.
But if you're looking for what is, for what's there that may be a positive energy, you'll keep finding that. That's the other rabbit hole. So which rabbit hole are you going to explore?
Right. So, what do you both think about journaling, journaling sporadically or journaling on a regular basis? I don't journal on a regular basis. I don't. And so I'm wondering how you feel about that.
I think it's great. I would like to journal on a regular basis. I have an intention to do that, but I do miss days. And what I do is I will journal on a particular topic. For example, I'm right now I'm creating a 21-day miracle challenge. And so I wrote a page about that. And it just, the lines just flow, who it's going to benefit, how it's going to help people. And it's just, it just really consolidates my feelings about what I'm doing. And then I also might do a page about gratitude, or a page about, exercise or, just something that's meaningful in my life. And then, and just a page, I limit myself to a page in my little red journal. It's, not little, it's about that big. But yeah, I find that it really clarifies my feelings about things. And also I feel uplifted after getting that clarity.
Yeah. I think journaling is great. And I read there was, I think there was a research project on gratitude and thankfulness.
Yes.
And yeah, and in that experiment, they found that people who kept gratitude journals on a weekly basis reported fewer physical symptoms. They felt better overall about their lives.
I remember that. Yep.
They were more optimistic about life in general.
And they made more money at work.
Oh, okay. That I didn't know, but I know that they also they recorded like less hassles or less drama or trauma in their life. So that's really interesting, right?
Well, I think the drama and the trauma can really affect your health because, people get ulcers, they get, their bodies hurt, and their health gets, their blood pressure goes up. There's so many things that happen when we are not in that place of gratitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The stress. And my motto for this whole year is stress-free in 2023. And I'm myself to that. If something comes up and it starts to feel stressful, I'm like, let me step away from that. Let me become the observer and see how I can step away and bring in the positive with it. So
that's beautiful.
I love that. Stress-free in 23.
The stress creates more of the physical problems, like MarBeth was saying. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But to get to your question, Michele, about journaling, in December of 2021, the angels told me they were going to give me a message every night. So it turned into be sitting with a pen and paper and journaling, and then saying, okay, what message do you have regarding this? And so y'all know what happened. I journaled every day in 2022, and now it's going to be published as a book by the end of this month.
I know.
Wonderful. That's so, wow.
2 books.
So exciting.
There's going to be 2 books. One book is the complete blogs. They were posted as blogs on my website. So there's 365 messages from the angels. And it's called Midnight Calls with the Angels. 360 messages of love and support and inspiration. And then they told me to pull out just the thought from each blog. So there's a companion book that's tiny, I call it the tiny book of angel messages, and it contains just a thought. So you can go to any page in that book and it's going to jump off the page at you, whatever that message is that you need to hear.
I love that.
My experience with journaling, Michele, for a year, and it's continued. It didn't stop when the date hit January 1st of 2023. They're like, we're not done yet.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's powerful.
That's really powerful, and yeah, it's gratitude journals are so powerful. I believe in that experiment that you were talking about, Michele. They found that if they did it more frequently than a weekly journal where they would write down like 5 things they were grateful for, if they tried to do it on a daily basis, it was not as powerful for them, which I thought was interesting.
Yes, I heard that too, MarBeth. I heard the same thing. Yes.
I wonder if that's because it becomes like a chore to do it every day.
Right. Yeah. But Teri, you could speak to heart math, right? Because I know with heart math, it releases like certain chemicals, or maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's doing that connection from the heart to the brain. And what I was taught, because I did the training with Greg Braden on heart math, and he says that the heart actually fires neurons just like our brain does. They call it the little brain, which he says that's really the big brain is our heart.
Mm-hmm.
So connecting in just takes minutes to just sit and quietly and touch your heart center, because that brings your focus to the heart, and slow down the breathing. You're slowing down everything when you slow down your breathing, and you breathe in and fill your lungs completely. And then you add in the energy of something very positive. What I like to do is just remember. I bring up a memory. Maybe it was a sunset that I saw here out in the West, or the sun rising over the ocean in the East Coast. Just something that really brings a smile to my face and warmth to my heart. And what happens when you do that, within 3 minutes, your brain goes into the highest brain state that it can achieve. And then the benefits really kick in. And y'all are going to love this one if you've never heard it before. Part of what happens with this, your cells are repairing. And as the cells repair, and those telomeres that are on the end of each cell, you anti-age. So you're actually giving yourself that beautiful spa treatment to go backwards in your biological age by doing this. And it helps to repair anything that's going on in the body. If there's, some type of illness, if there's a cold or some type of disease, or you're just stressed to the max, this is going to calm all of that energy down. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself. I start my day every day with the heart-brain coherence, and I end my day with that.
Wow, I did not know
I'm 30
that.
years old now, Michele.
I love that.
Well, truthfully, Teri, you have been really doing the Benjamin Button.
Oh, I love that.
Notice you look fabulous,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really does make a difference. And, it's scientifically proven. We're not just talking like a theory here. They did a lot of research on this.
Absolutely.
Institute. And, they went to the people that they knew were staying peaceful and calm, like monks, right? And they go, what do you guys do? How do you do this? And so they observed, and they did some testing, on their body. And this is what they found. So it's really scientifically proven that this works, you guys. And I've been doing it now for, 4 or 5 years since I've been trained in it. Every day. I don't miss a day of doing the heart-brain coherence, because I know how important it is.
Wow. I want to do that every day.
Me too.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that we could do. You could have a gratitude rock, or something that you carry around in your pocket to remind yourself to be grateful. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Something, it could be a heart-shaped something. I like something heart-shaped, but it could be anything, a rock or a crystal, or I guess anything, but carry that around with you to remind you to be grateful. Because why wouldn't we want to? Because of all the benefits we're talking about that are a result of having more gratitude in your life. It's a across the board positive activity and experience in your life, right?
Nothing negative.
Yeah, right.
Well, you could also have a gratitude mantra. I'm grateful for everything in my life.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to share something that a friend of mine did. And she told me about this several years ago, and I know they're still doing it. So her daughter was a teenager at the time, and they lived in the house together. So what she did was have just a plain notebook and left it open on the kitchen counter, because everybody goes to the kitchen at some point during the day, right? So as you pass by this book, just jot a word of gratitude to the other people in the house.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
If you live alone, you can do this. Have that book there. And as you see the book, just say, hey, Teri, I'm grateful for you today. But if there's other people that are there cohabiting with you, just write them a note. Just say, I'm grateful that you did the dishes, or that you put the dishes away, or that you cooked dinner, whatever it is, just jot a little note of gratitude. Or like we said earlier, you don't really have to have a reason. You can just speak words of, I love you, I'm grateful for you.
mhm.
That
That's
made
beautiful.
difference in their relationship, because then they were excited. They're like, oh, let me see what she wrote about me, or let me see if she gave me some gratitude today. So
Oh,
little,
that's
a little,
beautiful.
yeah, if you choose to use that, I think it would really make a difference in the living situation if people saw every day that you're grateful for them.
They would feel appreciated. They would feel seen. And it would really make a difference in the relationships. I think also extending gratitude, just, in your meditation, just extend that gratitude out, just send it out, because that, as we said, those vibrations, we're holographic. We're not physical. We seem like we're solid, but all of this matter in our body, if we condensed it, because we're composed of atoms, they're all space. If we composed all this matter, we'd be the size of an apple seed. So,
Right.
we are vibrational beings. We extend gratitude that envelops the whole universe. It can, if we express our intention, that it does. And so, we move into a place of gratitude. I'm so grateful for all of the stars in the universe, for all of the
Yeah.
suns in the universe, for all of the sentient beings in the universe. I mean, we could just go on and on and on with that.
Yeah, this is really serious, because I think sometimes, people, again, just to go back to originally what we were talking about with all the stuff going on in the world, people find it, hard to be grateful for things. And maybe they're grateful for some things, but they don't have that full understanding or expression of gratitude. So, some people might be listening, say, yeah, that all sounds, but it's so true if you just try it, because it will absolutely, I don't want to say it will absolutely shift your life and your experiences, something that seems as simple as gratitude. And I think it was the philosopher Cicero who said, of all the virtues, he felt gratitude was the most important. And, I see how that works, and I see how true it is. It expands everything. And like you said, MarBeth, it just resonates across, the planet, it just resonates across the planet. Everything that we do, right, is leaving an impression. So, yeah. Oh, the one thing I did want to say too about, visuals, creating visuals, like you could create gratitude flower, and you cut out all these petals, just cut out a lot of petals and write things that you're grateful for, but maybe make the petals in, bright in like different colors, and then have a center and just glue it, but make it, pretty big. So it's something that you could see every day. I mean, how do flowers not bring a smile to your face, right? So if you create like this gratitude flower, you could see it every day. I hope I explained it right.
You
Cut
did.
the
It's a
petals.
beautiful thing. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I like that.
Yeah,
People talk about vision boards. You could have a gratitude board.
absolutely. Yes. Yes.
I like that.
Speaking
I think
of-
I'm going to have one. I like that a lot.
I do too.
And perfect segue, Michele.
I know, perfect for our, it's a kind of a long name. So do you want to repeat the name? Because I'm calling it, it's a spiritual vision vision quest workshop, right?
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
It's called Clear Vision.
Clear vision. Thank you. That's an important part of this. That word. I don't know how I forgot that. That is really a key word, for our workshop on the 26th. And I'm so excited about it. I'm always excited about the work we do together, Teri, because there's, for me, and I know for you, it's inspired, and it comes from a place of inspiration, and it comes from a place of gratitude for what we have. And it always seems to blossom and open up beautifully. And this workshop I'm excited about because this year, just to talk about it briefly, numerologically is a number 7, and it's very spiritual. It's a very spiritual year. And it's asking all of us to raise our vibration and to have clear vision. So how do we do that? Well, Teri and I are going to lead you through some things that I think are going to be really not only just uplifting, but perhaps help you see your life through a different lens. And we're also going to be doing really, really brief little readings. And Teri's going to do the angels. I'm going to do a little bit about the numerology, a message for each person. And also, we're going to do an exercise to bring you to your Akashic records, which I think is going to really open up people as well. But it is about being grateful and expanding your vision and having a real shift in your perception, which is only going to bring wonderful things into your life. And we know, I know, I will speak for all of us because I know both of you, and I know that by doing these practices, it brings more beautiful things in your life. And challenges aren't always as bad as you might think they are, and you learn from them. And not only that, I think we kind of put a little bit of I don't know what I want to call it right now, but we kind of lessen some of those challenges. There's always going to be challenges in anybody's life. But I think when you open up to spirit and the divine and raise your vibration, which is what we are going to do in this workshop, it opens you up to more beautiful things coming into your life and more things to be grateful for. So that's the 26th. I hope people,
20, Michele.
What? It's the 20. Oh,
You show up on the 26th. I'm going to show up on the 28th.
okay. I'll be there. Oh, thank you, Teri. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Something must be happening on the 26th for me as well. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But thank you for explaining what we're doing. And, it's when Michele and I first talked about it, we're like, this is not your mama's vision board.
That was you. And I love that.
Different. We're not focused on material. We're focused on what do we want to do this year to grow our lives spiritually.
Mhm.
So I'm very excited about it. And thank you. I'm so happy to co-create with you again to do that.
Me as well. Thank you.
And there's still time to sign up for it.
Yes. Yeah. And if you do sign up for it, you need to please send in your full birth date so I could do a little numerology magic on that and give you a little message of that. So that's good.
That is good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good to focus on what we want, because so many times we think we have to have something physical in front of us that we can hold and we can touch, and and then the gratitude for that. But how many times are we just grateful for ourselves and for our Creator, for the spiritual journey that we're here on? And that's what we want to bring that focus to this year. And I just love that this is a 7-year. MarBeth, were you aware that this is the year to really focus on spirituality?
I felt a shift when 2023 happened. I felt a shift, and what came to my mind was, this is my best year yet.
Wow.
That's what I woke up with on January 1st. And that's my mantra. This is my best year yet. So, yeah. And then, just like for me, I mentioned, this challenge that I'm recreating. It's just, everything is like falling into place for it. I mean, I actually opened up somebody asked me when I was doing something on the solstice to send a PowerPoint presentation. I opened up my Keynote on the Mac, and there was the presentation for this program, which I haven't looked at in like 5 years, and there it was. And then when I looked at the program, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to redo this whole thing. It's just old. It's not good. And I found an app. It just, everything is like click, 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 click into place. So it's like, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a spiritual year. It is definitely. And that's so wonderful, because I'd much rather focus on spirituality than politics or world events, that may be perceived as negative. I always look for the positive, and if we don't feel gratitude, if we don't feel appreciation, if we focus on what's bleak and oppressive, we're going to get more of that. So we really need to really focus on how we want things to be. And I want to feel good.
Yes, me too. So MarBeth, please tell us how people can find you and maybe be a part of that 21-day challenge or whatever else you have going on.
Well, you can find me at marbethdunn.com, and I have a free ebook at yourmiraclepower.com. So that would, and then if you get the ebook, then I'll send you all the information about this 21-day miracle challenge. And it incorporates gratitude as one of the days.
Wow. That sounds wonderful.
Because you're so beautiful in sharing that gratitude. And I so appreciate you in my life. Thank you for the person that you are and the beautiful leader that you are for us. I really do appreciate that. And I appreciate you being here with us today to talk about gratitude. It's been a beautiful, beautiful time together. And Michele, I know I've got it in the description of this program, but just please tell people how to reach out to you. And I think on your page on Facebook, they can find the information about the workshop.
Absolutely. Yes. And yep, it's on the Facebook page. And also, if people would like to, they could also go to michellanders.com, and that's Michele with 1 L. And if they sign up for the newsletter every month, you not only do you get the newsletter, but you get an opportunity to do just one little tiny calculation. I figure out the rest for you, and you can hear or see a little bit about what your month energy is numerologically. So that's fun. That's fun to do. Or if you want a free 15-minute session with me, go to my website and sign up for a free session. So yeah. And come to our workshop on the 28th.
The 28th of January.
Yes.
And I will both be there on that day.
Yeah, I can't. Can you believe it though? The 28th, it's the month that's almost over again.
I know.
Crazy. But
Yeah,
again,
had given me a blog a few days ago because I kept saying, oh my gosh, this month is half over. And they're like, this month is half full still. So, so that was the name of the blog, A Month Half Full. And, we do still have time to just enjoy every moment of every day. And that's what I choose to do. But yeah, it's plugging along already. We can see that date on the calendar as it goes forward. But we are coming up on the end of this particular program. And I just want to give both of you ladies a chance, if there's just a word of encouragement or anything you want to share with our listeners. We have a great audience. Hello to everybody that's listening in today. But if you just have a word that you'd like to leave people with, especially regarding gratitude, let's just take a moment for that.
I'm very grateful for both of you. And I was very grateful to be invited on this podcast again, because you definitely are one of my very favorite people, Teri. And it was lovely being with you again, Michele. And I do enjoy your newsletter. So I'm very grateful for that. And I'm grateful for being here.
Thank you. Well, ditto to all of that, because both of you are so heart-centered and uplifting. And I love being around that energy. And Teri, she's just such a blessing in my life as well in so many ways. So I am grateful for both of you as well, and grateful for this opportunity to share that. And I think one word I would love to, besides gratitude, I would love for people to keep in their mind to have faith. It's two words: to have faith and to have hope. And go through the year with those gratitude and faith and hope, because things are shifting without a doubt. This is a major turning point spiritually. So, sometimes they say, that these sayings come about and they have some meaning to it. It always is the darkest before the dawn. And we've been through a lot in the past couple of years, but this is a turning point. I don't mean that everything is going to miraculously shift, but it is shifting. And a lot of things are happening beneath the surface that are going to bring us to a new world and a new beginning. So have gratitude, have faith, and please have hope.
Love that. Yeah. And the more gratitude we have, the more we go into that energy of hope and love and everything, the positive stuff that comes along with it. So thank you. Both you ladies are so dear to me. I love you. I love you. I count you among my treasures in this world. And so grateful that you both joined in today. And all of you who are in the audience right now, thank you for being here. And I see your beautiful comments, and I'm so glad that you appreciated the show today. Come back next week and we'll do it all over again, but it will be a different topic, and it may be different faces that show up each week. So just tune in and see what we're doing here at the PeaPod. And I encourage you to stay in your hearts and stay blessed and share some gratitude with somebody. Just go right now, go tell somebody, I'm grateful for you, whether it's somebody in your home or you need to send a text message or pick up the phone and make a phone call. Share some gratitude out today, because you're showing love when you do that. And we need more love in our world. So let's make it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I will see you later. Namaste, y'all. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Nice.